Sex work is a type of economic activity that people who are on the margins tend to do. So you get a lot of trans people, single mothers, undocumented people, migrants, people of colour, people in addiction, people who are homeless. So all of those people may enter sex work and they need rights, they need services that will cater to them. The Sex Workers Alliance of Ireland, or SWAI as we call ourselves, is here to change the conversation around sex work in Ireland. Sex workers are very invisible in Ireland and they really don't have a say in the policies that affect their lives. And what we try to do is change that and ensure that they have a voice. We're here to ensure that sex workers are represented and so that the services that cater for them are as non-stigmatising and non-judgmental as possible. So we have a sex worker awareness training that aims to do that, to teach various people about the law, about the various barriers that sex workers have to getting healthcare or recognising their rights or paths to justice. Many services will have sex workers present to them, but they won't know they're sex workers, they won't disclose it. So it's really important that services that deal with sex workers, whether you're in a homeless service, addiction service, or any kind of health service, that you're providing non-judgmental supports so that your resources are being put to the best use as well.
Sex worker awareness training has been developed by sex workers and staff at Sex Workers Alliance Ireland with decades of experience of working with sex workers and fighting for the rights of sex workers. The purpose of awareness training is what we recognise is that not everybody has awareness of what sex workers experience. The dominant narrative is that sex workers aren't able to engage their own agency, that sex workers are victims. Whilst we recognise absolutely that there are people who have experienced coercion into sex work, we work with all types of sex workers. So some of the awareness that we bring to people is, for example, language. So we will provide them an overview of the correct language as an ally to use. Some of the feedback that we've received in the evaluation from the training is around the accessibility, that people did feel safe during the training to ask questions that they've always wanted answers to. They felt safe to find out that information so that they can then enhance their practice and actually support sex workers appropriately.
100% of the people that have attended would recommend our training to someone else. We receive such positive feedback because people have really not heard the narrative that we have. We're bucking the dominant narrative in Ireland that all sex work is gender-based violence. And by having people's lived experiences and by having this being developed by sex workers, people have just not heard this before. We hope that the voices of sex workers are heard in Ireland, and we hope that we are integral to that. We want to destigmatise, to decriminalise. We're fighting for an Ireland that has mental health supports, rehabilitation for people who need it, secure housing, affordable childcare. All of these things that would prevent exploitation of sex workers and prevent exploitation of a lot of people. Those are the things that Ireland needs, and we're here in this fight to ensure that sex workers are heard because these are the things that sex workers need. They don't need stigma and they don't need for their work to be ended. They need all of these resources that they're not being provided for now.